Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Take a look in the mirror, you see a Homo sapiens staring back. But have you ever stopped to wonder about the long winding road that led to you? We all know about our ancient aplic ancestors like Lucy, but what happened in between? Who are the missing links in our vast family tree? It's not a simple straight line from a stooped-over ape to a modern human. It's a complex, dramatic, and utterly fascinating story of survival, innovation, and extinction. For millions of years, multiple human-like species walked the earth, sometimes at the very same time. So, how did we Homo sapiens end up as the last ones standing? What twists and turns defined our journey? Today, we're going on an epic safari through time to uncover the story of our direct ancestors, from the very first members of our genus Homo to the moment we became the dominant human species on the planet. Get ready to meet the relatives you never knew you had. Let's start our journey about 2.8 million years ago. After millions of years of evolution, a new kind of hominid appeared on the African savanna, one that marks the beginning of our own genus, Homo. The first key player is Homo habilis, which literally means handyman, and for good reason. This was the species that started it all, the first to consistently craft and use stone tools. Imagine the incredible cognitive leap this represented: the ability to see a rock not just as a rock, but as a potential tool. These early tools, called old-iron choppers, were simple but revolutionary. They allowed Homo habilis to butcher carcasses, crack open bones for marrow, and access new high-energy food sources. This protein and fat-rich diet fueled a critical development, the expansion of the brain. Compared to their Australopithecus predecessors, Homo habilis had a noticeably larger brain. Following Homo habilis about 2 million years ago, a new, even more impressive character entered the stage: Homo erectus, the upright man. This species was a true game-changer. They were taller, had longer legs, built for long-distance running and walking, and possessed an even bigger brain. But their most significant achievement: they were the first hominids to venture out of Africa. Fossils of Homo erectus have been found all across Asia and parts of Europe. They were true pioneers, adapting to new environments and climates, and they had a powerful tool to help them do it: fire. While they may not have known how to start fires from scratch initially, they learned to control and use natural fires. This was a monumental leap forward. Fire provided warmth, protection from predators, and most importantly, a way to cook food. Cooking made food easier to digest and unlocked more nutrients, further fueling brain growth. Homo erectus was smarter, more adaptably, and more socially organized than any hominid that came before. They were the first true globetrotters of the human family, setting the stage for the global spread of their descendants, including us. Fast forward to about 300,000 years ago, back in Africa. Amidst the diverse landscape of hominid species, something new and special began to emerge. This is the moment our own species, Homo sapiens, makes its debut. The earliest fossils of anatomically modern humans, found at sites like Jebel Irhoud in Morocco, show individuals with faces and skulls that look remarkably like ours. While their brain cases were a bit more elongated, they were undeniably us. But what truly set these early Homo sapiens apart wasn't just their looks, it was their minds. The archaeological record from this period explodes with innovation. They developed more sophisticated toolkits, like the Middle Stone Age points, and blades, which were more efficient and versatile than anything seen before. But the real revolution was happening internally. We see the first glimmers of symbolic thought. People started using ochre, a natural pigment, likely for body paint or decoration. We find deliberately perforated seashells that were strung together as beads. This isn't just about survival anymore. It's about identity, about art, about communicating complex ideas. This is the great leap forward in human cognition. We were not just surviving, we were creating culture. It was this cognitive flexibility and capacity for symbolic thought, born in Africa, that would eventually allow Homo sapiens to conquer the world. But while our ancestors were evolving in Africa, they weren't alone on the world stage. Europe and Asia were home to our closest and most famous extinct relatives, the Neanderthals. Flourishing from about 400,000 to 40,000 years ago, Neanderthals, or Homo neanderthalensis, were a distinct and highly successful human species. The classic image of a brutish, hunched-over caveman couldn't be more wrong. Neanderthals were incredibly well adapted to the cold climates of Ice Age Eurasia. They had stocky, muscular bodies to conserve heat, and large noses to warm and humidify the cold, dry air. And they were far from primitive. Their brains were, on average, even slightly larger than ours today. They crafted sophisticated tools, known as the mouse deer in industry, hunted massive game like mammoths and woolly rhinos, and controlled fire. Crucially, we have clear evidence that they had a complex culture. They deliberately buried their dead, sometimes with grave goods, suggesting they had rituals and perhaps even a belief in an afterlife. They used pigments and may have created jewelry from eagle talons. They were intelligent, resourceful, and emotionally complex beings, a parallel branch of humanity that was thriving for hundreds of thousands of years. So, we have a highly intelligent and capable human species on the planet, Homo sapiens evolving in Africa and Neanderthals dominating Eurasia. What happened when they finally met? Around 60,000 years ago, as modern humans began their major migration out of Africa, they pushed into the Middle East and Europe, territories that had been Neanderthal lands for millennia. For thousands of years, our two species coexisted. The evidence for this encounter is written in our very DNA. Most people today of non-African descent have between 1 to 2% Neanderthal DNA in their genome. This is definitive proof that not only did our species meet, but they interbred. So they weren't just competitors. They were, on occasion, partners. This brings us to the ultimate question. If Neanderthals were so intelligent and well adapted, why did they disappear while we survived? What was the key difference? The answer likely lies in a combination of factors, but it may boil down to our species' unique brand of social and symbolic complexity. Homo sapiens appear to have had larger, more widespread social networks, allowing for the exchange of ideas, resources, and genes over vast distances. Our symbolic communication, expressed through more complex art and language, may have allowed for more efficient planning and cooperation. While Neanderthals were masters of their local environments, Homo sapiens were masters of networking and adaptation. We were more flexible, more collaborative, and perhaps more creative. In the end, it was this cognitive toolkit that allowed us to outcompete and absorb our closest cousins, leaving us as the last humans standing. The story of our evolution is a humbling reminder that our existence was never a guarantee. It's a tale of innovation, migration, competition, and connection. Thank you so much for joining me on this incredible journey through our deep past. If you found this fascinating, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the epic story of humanity. See you next time.